Stop. Look around you. Is your floor covered in stuff? Warning, a messy room creates a messy brain. If you can't see your floor, you are walking into a trap that steals your happiness and your time. Jax is about to learn this the hard way. Meet Jax. Jax lives in Metro City, a place of tall skyscrapers and fast trains. Jax loves the city because it is exciting. But Jax has a secret. His bedroom is a disaster zone. It is the land of lost things. He thinks the mess is cool. He is wrong. What if I told you that clutter makes you tired? Jax wakes up every morning feeling heavy. He has to climb over a mountain of dirty laundry just to get to the door. It is an obstacle course. He starts his day with a struggle, not a stretch. Today is a big day. The city zoo trip. Jax needs his golden permission slip. He knows it is somewhere, but somewhere in Jax's room is a dangerous place. It could be under the bed, inside a shoe, or eaten by the pile of comics. The search begins. He dives into the drawer of doom. This drawer has everything: broken pencils, tangled headphones, dried gum. It is pure chaos. Searching through it confuses his brain. He forgets what he is even looking for. Distraction strikes. He finds an old video game controller. Whoa! I lost this months ago. He says. He sits down to play. He forgets the zoo trip. This is the danger of clutter. It distracts you from your goals. The mess steals your focus. 10 minutes pass. Suddenly, his mom calls out, "Bus is here in 5 minutes, Jax." Panic hits him like a bucket of ice water. He throws the controller. He hasn't found the slip. His heart starts beating fast. Stress levels are critical. He starts digging through the clothing mountain. He throws shirts and socks everywhere. The room gets even messier. Panic makes us clumsy. He is making the problem worse, not better. He is fighting his own belongings. He trips. His foot catches on a skateboard hidden under a towel. Crash! Jax falls onto a pile of hard plastic toys. Ouch! The mess physically hurts him. If the floor was clear, he would be safe. The room is attacking him. He lies on the floor, looking up at the ceiling. He feels defeated. He feels small. The clutter towers over him like a monster. This is called visual noise. It screams at his brain, making it impossible to think clearly or calm down. Where is it? He screams. He blames his mom. He blames the school, but deep down he knows. It is his fault. He didn't respect his space. Now his space is punishing him. Responsibility is a tough lesson to learn when you are late. He looks under the bed again. It is dark and dusty. He touches something sticky. Gross! Old food wrappers. Keeping food in your room attracts bugs and bad vibes. Jax pulls his hand back in disgust. His sanctuary is a dump. He hears the bus horn outside. Honk! Honk! It is the sound of missed opportunity. He runs to the window. He sees the yellow bus pulling away. He missed it. He missed the zoo trip, all because of a piece of paper lost in the chaos. Jax sinks to the floor. Tears sting his eyes. He wanted to see the tigers. Now he is stuck in his room with his mess. The fun is gone. The clutter didn't just take his space. It took his experience. It stole a memory. His mom opens the door. She sees the tornado room. She sees crying Jax. She doesn't yell. She knows the natural consequence has already happened. The room reflects the mind, Jax, she says softly. Your mind is a mess right now. Jax looks around. He finally sees it. He doesn't see cool stuff anymore. He sees stress. He sees obstacles. He sees the enemy. He realizes that living like this isn't freedom. It is a cage made of junk. I want to change, Jax whispers. I hate this. Admitting the problem is step one. But looking at the mountain of mess, he feels paralyzed. It's too much, he thinks. I can never fix this. The size of the task is scary. Why do we keep things we don't need? Jax sees a broken toy he has kept for 3 years. I might fix it. He told himself. He never did. It is just taking up space. It is a someday item. Someday never comes. He tries to start. He picks up a sock. Then he puts it down to pick up a book. Then he sees a coin. He is flitting like a butterfly. He isn't cleaning. He is just moving the mess around. He lacks a system. He needs a strategy. His brain feels foggy. He can't decide what to keep and what to throw away. This is decision fatigue. The mess is draining his mental battery. He sits back down, exhausted after only 2 minutes. He needs a guide. He looks out the window at the city. The city works because it has traffic lights. It has lanes. It has rules. His room has no rules. It is anarchy. He needs to bring the order of the city into his bedroom. He spots something under the desk. A glint of gold, is it? He crawls over. He moves a pile of dirty tissues. There it is, the permission slip. It was there the whole time, buried under the trash. He holds the slip. It is wrinkled and stained with soda. It is useless now. The bus is gone. Jocks feels a new emotion, regret, but also determination. Never again, he says. I am taking my room back. He needs a plan. He can't do it all at once. He needs to divide and conquer. He remembers his dad talking about zoning. He needs to turn his chaosopolis into an organized city. But where is the starting line? Jax rolls up his sleeves. He grabs 3 boxes. He is ready to face the monster. In Section 2, Jax will learn the 3-box method and discover the hidden treasure buried under his own junk. Warning: cleaning without a plan is just moving dust around. Jax stands before the mess. He feels overwhelmed. But he remembers the 3-box method. It is the magic spell to defeat the clutter monster. He writes on the boxes: trash, donate, and keep. He starts with the easiest one: trash. He grabs the low-hanging fruit: candy wrappers, old papers, broken pencils. He doesn't have to think about these. He just tosses them. Swish. Every piece of trash that leaves the room makes the air feel lighter. The trash box fills up fast. Jocks realizes he was living in a garbage can. Why did I keep this empty soda bottle? He asks. Clutter is often just delayed decisions. He makes the decision now. The room starts to breathe again. Now for the hard part: donate. He picks up a toy truck. He used to love it when he was 5, but he is 10 now. He hasn't played with it in years. But what if I miss it? His brain whispers. This is the scarcity trap. He imagines a younger kid who has no toys. That kid would love this truck. Keeping it in a dusty box is selfish. Giving it a new home is generous. Jocks puts the truck in the donate box. He feels a warm glow in his chest. Giving feels good. He finds clothes that are too small. I might shrink? He jokes. No, he won't. He puts the small shirts in the donate box. His closet is for the person he is today, not the person he was 3 years ago. His room is growing up with him. Now the keep box. This is dangerous. You can't keep everything. Jocks picks up a rock. It's a cool rock, he says. But does he love it? Does he use it? The rule is, if it doesn't make you happy or help you work, it goes. He creates zones. Just like a city has a residential zone and a business zone, his room needs logic. All books go to the shelf. All games go to the bin. No more homeless items wandering around the floor. He tackles the clothing mountain. He doesn't just stuff them in drawers. He folds them. Folding is a meditation. It shows respect for your things. When you respect your gear lasts longer. He stacks them vertically so he can see them. Suddenly, he sees something shiny under a pile of comics. Is it? It is. $5. He found treasure. When you clean, the universe pays you back. He puts the money in his piggy bank. The clutter was hiding his wealth. He moves to the desk. This is the brain center. It is covered in dry glue and paper scraps. No wonder he can't study. He clears the surface. A clear desk equals a clear mind. He wipes the dust away. The wood shines. Jocks puts on some music. Cleaning doesn't have to be boring. He turns it into a dance party. He slides on the floor in his socks. He shoots trash into the bin. Energy creates energy. He isn't tired anymore. He is pumped. He looks at the floor. He can see the carpet. It looks huge. The room actually looks bigger. Clutter shrinks space. Organization expands it. Jocks lies down on the clean carpet and makes a carpet angel. It feels soft and open. Now the bed. The bed is the island in the middle of the ocean. If the bed is made, the whole room looks 50% cleaner instantly. Jocks pulls the sheets tight. He fluffs the pillow. It looks inviting, not stressful. He tackles the drawer of doom last. He dumps it out. He tests every pen. If it doesn't write, it is trash. Why keep a broken tool? He organizes the good pens in a cup. Now his tools are ready for work. He finds the permission slip again. He smooths it out on the clean desk. He tapes the rip. It is a reminder. Next time, he won't lose it. He places it right in the center of the desk where he can't miss it. Jock steps back. He is sweating. It was hard work, but it is good sweat. He looks at the 3 full boxes. Trash to the bin. Donations to the door. Keeps to the shelf. He processed the backlog of his life. The air smells different. It doesn't smell like old gym socks anymore. It smells like fresh air. He opens the window. The city breeze comes in. His room is now part of the city, not a dungeon hidden from it. His mom comes back to check on him. Her jaw drops. "Who are you?" She jokes. "I'm Jax the city planner," he says. She hugs him. The environment has changed, and so has the mood in the house. Peace has returned. Jock sits at his desk. He picks up a book. For the first time in months, he can read without being distracted by a pile of junk in his peripheral vision. His focus laser is at 100%. He feels calm. He realizes that his room is his external brain. When the room was messy, his thoughts were messy. When the room is clean, his thoughts are clean. He has upgraded his hardware. He feels smarter. But wait, cleaning is easy. Keeping it clean is hard. Entropy is a law of physics. Things want to get messy. Jock sees a sock on the floor. The enemy is returning. He has to make a choice right now. He applies the one-touch rule. If he picks it up, he puts it away. He doesn't put it down for later. He picks up the sock and puts it in the hamper. Crisis averted. He just stopped the clutter seed from growing. He looks at the empty shelf space. He thinks about buying a new toy to fill it. Stop. That is the old habit. Space is not empty, he thinks. Space is potential. He decides to leave it empty. He is learning to love the void. Jocks has conquered the chaos. But the real challenge is tomorrow morning. Will he make his bed? Will he fall back into the trap? Section 3 reveals the daily habits that keep the clutter monster away forever. Stop! The hardest part isn't cleaning the room. It's keeping it clean. Jocks wakes up the next morning. The sun hits the floor. There's no pile of laundry blocking the light. He feels calm immediately. His brain isn't starting the day in defense mode. He steps out of bed. He looks back at the messy sheets. The old Jocks would leave it. The new Jocks knows the first victory rule. If you make your bed, you have accomplished the first task of the day. It sets a winning streak for your brain. He pulls the duvet up. He smooths the pillow. It takes exactly 60 seconds. That's it. But now the room looks 80% cleaner. It is a Keystone Habit. This one small act creates a ripple effect of discipline for the rest of the day. He goes to the closet. Because he donated the clothes that didn't fit, he can actually see his red jersey. He doesn't have to dig. He gets dressed in 10 seconds. He just saved 5 minutes of his life. Organization buys you time. He walks to his desk. He calls this the Launchpad. His backpack is packed. His permission slip, the taped one, is right on top. He doesn't have to panic search. He grabs his bag and walks out. He looks like a pro agent on a mission. He walks to the bus stop. The bus is there. He isn't running. He isn't sweating. He steps on the bus and finds a seat. His mind is clear, so he can talk to his friends instead of worrying about what he forgot. At school, the teacher asks for the permission slip. The old Jax would be digging through a chaotic bag filled with crumbs. The new Jax pulls it out instantly. Here! The teacher smiles. Very organized, Jax. Being organized earns you respect. He comes home. This is the danger zone. The moment you walk in the door, you want to drop everything on the floor. Jax feels the urge. He wants to throw his bag, but he stops. Don't feed the clutter monster, he thinks. He uses the hook habit. He hangs the bag on its hook. He puts his shoes on the rack. It takes 10 seconds. Future Jax will thank present Jax for this. It is a kindness you do for yourself. Homework time. He sits at his clear desk. Because there are no toys staring at him, he finishes his math in 20 minutes. He enters the flow state. When your visual field is simple, your brain power is amplified. He wants to play a video game. He opens the game box. He takes out one controller. He plays for an hour. When he is done, he doesn't leave it on the floor. He puts it back in the box. The game has a home. Everything needs a home. Weekend arrives. His friends come over. Usually, Jax hides his room because of the mess. Today, he opens the door wide. Come in, he says. He feels proud of his space. Your environment is a reflection of your self-esteem. They build a huge Lego city on the open floor. They have space to create. Before, there was no room to build. Organization kills creativity? No. Organization creates a stage for creativity to dance. When the friends leave, the room is messy again. Legos everywhere. Jax feels a moment of panic. But then he remembers, I have a system. It isn't a disaster. It is just a reset. He isn't afraid of the mess anymore. He does the evening reset. Every night, 5 minutes before bed, he resets the room to 0. He puts the Legos away. He straightens the rug. He prepares the Launchpad for tomorrow. He closes the day by opening the next one. He goes to the store with his mom. He sees a cheap plastic toy. He wants it, but he thinks about his clean shelf. Do I really love this? He asks. Is it worth the space? He puts it back. He has become a gatekeeper. This is the one in, one out rule. If he buys a new video game, he has to donate an old one. This keeps the inventory low. He stops being a consumer and starts being a curator. He values what he has more. His mom asks for help in the living room. Jax helps her organize the magazines. The habit is spreading. He organizes the pantry. He organizes the fridge. Once you feel the power of clarity, you want to fix everything. Jax notices he sleeps better. The air quality is better because there is less dust. He doesn't wake up sneezing. A clean room is literally healthier for your lungs. He wakes up with more energy to play sports and run. Life lesson. Your room is the only place in the world you have 100% control over. You can't control the weather or the traffic, but you can control your floor. Mastering your room is the first step to mastering your life. He looks at the someday items he donated. He doesn't miss them. He feels lighter. He realizes that memories aren't in objects. They are in his head. He doesn't need a broken toy to remember being 5. He is free to be 10. The clutter monster tries to come back. Jax leaves a sock on the floor, but he catches it. Not today, monster. He picks it up. It is a constant battle, but Jax is winning. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Now it is your challenge. Look at your floor. Pick up 5 things right now. Just 5. Do it. Feel that? That is the feeling of taking control. You don't have to live in a trap. You can build a sanctuary. Comment below. What is the one thing in your room you know you should throw away but haven't? A broken toy? An old paper? Tell us. Let's declutter the comments section together. Thanks for watching Jax's journey. Clear space means clear mind. Go make your bed and go change your world. See you in the next lesson.